All right, to finish off this video, so I took the back off of this and unscrewed the little screw that comes out of this, and I decided to just cut this one down. And I also took this and I cut it down as well. Here's the original size, like that, right there. And then I cut it down to this size. So now when this goes over this screw here, we just put this in nice and carefully here. There we go. To make sure I filed the threads down so the threads would retain their grip. So I got that like that. And then if I look at the, pick the right, which one was the right one? One of them, they're both the same. I think one of them just, yeah, this is the one that was kind of bent when I received it. So I heated it up and bent her back, because that's the kind of stuff you got to do. So let me just look at how far, I just want to see how far down the balance goes when it's down the shaft. So if it's like that, then the balance and the spring is just sitting, or the balance is just sitting right there. So that's pretty good right there. I could probably take off just a little bit more, but that's a good, that's not bad right there, because the balance will sit on that, and there won't be an issue. So now what I need to do is I've got myself a screwdriver bit, and I'm going to widen this so that the balance roller table will fit into this as well, because it's pretty narrow right now and I think it needs to be widened a bit. So I'm just going to put that in the lathe and see if I can screw down on it a bit. Plus this does go up quite a distance. Let me just see how far it goes up before it starts getting loosey-goosey. It goes up this far, so I could probably take off, yeah, I could probably take off another millimeter off or a couple of 5, maybe 2 millimeters off the bottom of this one too. So just to give me more flexibility in the distancing. So let's try doing that. I'll just saw off a little bit more with my blade. I use the Dremel tool to do that. So I just need to take off just a tad more so I can climb down more, because I think this gap is that's sufficient. Yeah, pretty much. And the thing's not perfectly aligned, so you know, I wish this could move back just a bit more, but it's not. So it depends on the balance I'm putting on here. This is a really old Victorian balance, so I'm sure a different one would work differently. So I just tried this Hamilton size 16 watch balance, and it kind of is okay from a distance perspective, but the hole needs to be bigger. So I need to get the lathe out and screw that hole bigger. So I've picked a bit that I think will make a difference. There's the base of it, as you can see, and from the top, it's about that big, which is probably big enough to fit any roller table, I think. So, because you want the whole thing to drop through the center on this. All right, here's my big old lathe. Got a few of these. This one here just seems to work well every time. So you got to put the belts back on. This is one of those crappy belts. I made a video on how to make a belt out of leather. So we just basically have to take this belt and then weave it in. I'm holding the camera at the same time I'm trying to do this. So see if I can do that with one hand. So this is a good test in case I lose my hand. So over here, plug that in. I think the back plug is the one that works the best. Sort of scare myself there. And now I've got a pedal under here that should work this. I turn it into the on position, and there we go. So now my tail stock has got to hold this drill bit right here. So I'm going to go find a collet that'll fit that. This is my collection of mini collets. I picked that up, I think 6-7 months ago, and then I've got, of course, my full set of collets here. And I already have a collet in here that I got to remove, and then I've found a collet that fits this perfectly. Look at that, and it's from this set here, so we'll use that. All right, to hold this in place, I need to put a 3-jaw chuck in here, and that's the hole, the end that I want to drill into. So we've got it set up nicely here. I've got this that a piece of metal. I want to widen the hole for the roller table to fit through, and I got it on a collet holding back, whatever it's called, tailpiece. Collet holding tailpiece, and I'm just going to basically give this a bit of a spin. But before I do that, I want to mark how deep I want to go. So to do that, I'm just trying to do this while I probably only want to go, you know, this deep. So I should see that blue mark spinning around. Well, I actually don't need to, because this is spinning, so I can just say, okay, I'm only going to go that deep. Hopefully that's not going to cause an issue. That's not that deep. All right, first I've got to tighten this like that. Make sure that's gripping it really well. And now I'll just spin this thing and start digging in. See if I can videotape this with one hand while I'm doing this. This could be interesting. There's that blue mark. It's digging in. Need a little more pressure here. And of course, a little bit of cutting oil wouldn't hurt. All right, this is the cutting oil, and it makes a massive difference when you use cutting oil on this. Just put a little dab of cutting oil on the end. And then now when you spin it, it's gonna be a bit better. You see how that cuts now with the cutting oil? I'm just hoping I don't get outside this where I want to be and then cause another problem. Let's back this off and have a look. And as you can see, the hole's not too bad like that. I'll go a little bit deeper and then finish it off. There, as you can see, it's deep enough. It's gone about that far in, which is perfect. So that'll fit any balance. Will be fine in that. So I need just to take this off, which is, I think you just stick these in here. I'm being pretty, I gotta get rid of that close-up, so back it off just a bit, and then just you do that, and that should come right out like so. And I just need to take the tail piece off. I'll clean that up after. This is just for the sake of the video. And there it is. Just wrap that onto the mat a bit. Get rid of some of the crap on the end. So that's it there. And then I can take a piece of Rodico and just clean up the end. That's pretty cool, man. Pretty darn cool. So there it is there. I just cleaned that up with some Rodico on the end, so it looks really good. Spanky clean. This is old Rodico, not new Rodico. So it's all ready, and I just want to chop like a couple of millimeters off the end of that, so it's got a little bit more distance and control. All right, cut this back a bit, and I'll call this final assembly here, because now it should screw in. One of these two-hand things, I think, again, because I got to ream the starting threads. So let me get, is that going to work? Yeah. All right, starting to go in now. There we go. So there it is there. So it's giving me a little bit more play regarding the distance. So there it is there. Now let's see if an actual watch balance will drop on there nicely. All right, I drilled it out, and this is about as wide as it's going to get. So the roller table should fit in through that hole. There shouldn't be an issue here at all. And it fits. And there we go. So that's sitting on top. There we go. It's sitting on top, and the balance is resting on the knobby, and I can screw that up even further if I want it to rest even more. So that's it. That's the video. That's the adjustment of this. I'll see you next time.